All right, welcome to the Two Men with Mics podcast. I am one of your hosts, Bobby Joe.
And I am CJ the Gray.
It's back, CJ the Gray.
Yeah, I'm back. I'm back, baby.
Man, so I gotta ask before we get into it. How was your weekend or your week from last time
Great.
we talked?
It was great. The Cowboys lost.
Yes.
Happy about that. The only bad thing about that is, though, they lost to the 49ers, which means the 49ers will play my Green Bay Packers. And usually Packers have a problem with the 49ers in the playoffs. So
Okay.
that's the only bad part about it. But I did enjoy watching to see them Cowboy fans crying and looking crazy and
Right.
about to jump off bridges and all that stuff. I was enjoying it.
The hate. I asked a question a few weeks ago. What was that? Why all the hate? Why do people hate the Cowboys and their fans so much? And I got all these different answers. It was just kind of crazy. But I noticed even on my news feed on Facebook, people do not like the Cowboys
Yeah.
or their fans.
Yeah.
Man.
The fans are annoying, that's why.
Yeah, I got those answers like their fans are annoying, they're a little delusional. It was kind of crazy. So yeah, I was just like, I want to post memes and all this other stuff, but my damn Falcons.
Hey, you guys been out since week 6, okay?
I don't
Not
I don't
just-
I don't I don't feel like I can talk shit confidently because I'm a Falcons fan and I can't really, because people be like, "Oh, your team didn't make the playoffs and this and that." So I don't want to hear all that. So I'm just like, wow. But,
Hey, it doesn't matter. You just tell them, but that team is still on the couch with your team, so
yeah, that's
you
true.
can talk
That's
trash
true.
to them.
One and done. One and done.
Yeah.
I don't know. It'll be interesting these next few playoff games. I'm excited about this coming weekend. We'll see what happens.
I seen a kid on the internet, which is crazy. He had predicted all the way from the playoffs, from the wild cards. He's predicting. He's pretty much spot on right now.
Really?
Yeah, and I'm like, wow.
Did he do a Super Bowl prediction?
Yes.
What was his prediction?
I can't
'Cause
remember who it was.
I still say Rams Chiefs.
I don't want to be lying, but I almost want to say that he had the Rams winning. I think I'm wrong about that, but I think he had them winning. I got pissed because he had 49ers beating Green Bay.
Okay.
And I mean, this kid has been spot on. And I'm like, oh. So, I'm over here scared, like, of a kid's prediction. But
Right.
I almost want to say he had the Rams winning.
Okay.
I think.
Does winning the Super Bowl?
Yeah, winning the Super
Okay.
Bowl.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I definitely have Rams Chiefs in the Super Bowl. That's what I'm sticking with. I that was my prediction early in the season. So
I don't know. We might go back to that because I think you had somebody else.
no, I know it was Rams Chiefs.
It's as they say them open. It's on tape.
It's on tape.
It's on tape.
I know it's a Facebook post. I don't know. We'll see.
Go back to episode 2 on here. You will see your prediction, and I don't think it was that.
We'll see, and then I'll go back and try to find that Facebook post. We'll see. But switching gears a little bit, I want to ask you. This is a question I was, wondering. Again, I was on Facebook, and I was looking at some of my news feed, and we were just talking, and I answered this question. I want to get your thoughts on shacking up, pros and cons. Is that something that you would recommend, or like don't do it until you're married?
I mean, I'm just not but I'm a new era, I guess. So I don't see anything wrong with shacking up. You kind of figure out, but there are a lot of cons to it. I'm always in that mindset of, hey, you gotta test it out, test the waters.
Right.
In today's dating world and dating society, people tend to test out. It's not like way back in the day where it's like you meet somebody, you court them, as they say back in those days.
Right.
And then it's just you go in with blind faith. Within that relationship, they end up they'll never get live together. They'll end up getting married, right?
Right.
Without not knowing basically everything about that person, because when you don't shack up, you only see a certain side of that person because they living over there doing all that stuff. So when you shack up, you start seeing things.
Right.
Can you live with the disgusting, or with
Yeah.
the ugly? And that is the true definition of love in a relationship. To be honest, it's kind
Right.
of based off of that. Can you live with
Right.
the ugly? It's not about living with the pretty. The pretty is a given. That's why you're with that person, because of the pretty. It's,
Hmm.
can you deal with the ugly, live with the ugly, even seeing that person ugly.
Right.
So kind of all the way off track there, but yeah,
I know.
I think I just say I don't see anything wrong with it.
Okay.
You know.
Yeah. I don't either. I think you honestly should, because people always say, and I agree with this. You never truly know a person until you live with them,
Mm-hmm.
right? And all, like you said, all those habits, or there are certain things you may not like, and you got to get to know that person. I don't think you should just wait until you're married to just jump in and be like, all right, now we're married, we're gonna live together. Because I know there's some things, like I like to sleep with the TV on. Sleeping with the TV on doesn't bother me.
Yeah.
So it could be little things like that. Some people, it needs to be pitch black, no noise,
Yeah.
no
Silence.
nothing. Yeah, I can go to sleep with the TV on. I'll go to sleep anywhere. So I prefer the TV on, or some type of noise. Uh, just as far as I'll leave a shirt on the chair or on the bed or stuff like that. Me, the kitchen and the bathroom need to be clean. I'm not the most tidiest person, but the kitchen and bathroom need to be need to be clean. Because I mean, I just think that's nasty.
Yeah.
There's some people who may not be on your level as far as cleaning and level of cleanliness or nasty. Um, and it's just little things, you need you can't really, you don't have your time alone. And then if you, let's say you have a disagreement, I mean, I guess you can go somewhere, go out, go, get away from that person for a while, but then you got to come back if you live with that person.
Yeah.
People have their kind of quirks and different things that may get on your nerves, or stuff that you do that might get on their nerves. So you never kind of know, but I do think the benefits, the pros outweigh the cons, because you got to get to know this person, and then you're like, oh, you know what? I know this person, and now I don't even we don't even need to live together. So that may determine whether you're gonna stay with this person or leave. So yeah, that's me. You gotta know. You gotta know.
It's funny you say that, the whole about the marriage thing and all that.
Hmm.
I was actually reading the percentages and stats earlier today
Hmm.
about this, but
Hmm.
the people that were married in the 50s, 60s, 70s had a lower divorce rate, and it was almost to none, versus now when people that actually live together first.
You were saying the people that lived together
All right,
before
no,
they
no,
got
no,
married?
no. Back in the day, 40s and 50s, you never lived together,
Okay.
right? 50s, 60s,
Okay.
they never were married. I
Right.
mean, I'm sorry, they were never lived together,
Before they got
cohabitate.
married.
They straight got
Okay.
married, right? And it was almost, you know, it's rare that any of those people ever got divorced.
Hmm.
Versus the people that now that cohabitate, they get divorced. And I looked at it. It said it actually showed that people that live together
Hmm.
and actually end up getting married, they divorce within 7 years.
Really?
Yes, cohabitators, and I was like, man, it's kind of crazy. But at the same time, but then I was reading more, and it's like 45%. Well, almost half of all women under 45 cohabitated. You
Really?
know, yeah, and then 70% of couples cohabitate, which
Hmm.
back in the 60s, or I mean 70s and all that, it was only like 2% cohabitated. But
Okay.
70% now cohabitate or have cohabitated. But like I said, they ended up getting divorced. And it showed that cohabitating before you got married sabotaged marriage. And I'm
I
like,
can see
wow,
that.
yeah,
I can see that, because I think too, uh, you're living together. It's that whole why. What is that saying? I always mess it up. Why buy the cow when you get the milk
When
for
you can have the
free.
milk for free.
Yeah, when you so let's say you're dating a woman or whatever, and you're like, oh, well, we live together, we're shacking up, so I mean, there's no reason for me to marry her. And then some people may not want to get married, but and then I think sometimes I think there's just so many different factors. What if okay, so they need to live together to one person can't afford to live on their own. Uh, Living together makes sense. But then you live together so long, like I said, it goes back to what I said. This you realize this isn't somebody I want
But
to.
but hold on,
Go
before you
ahead, go
say it,
ahead, go ahead, go ahead, go ahead.
you shouldn't cohabitate for financial reasons.
But
Like that is the
some people
worst reason.
do.
That's the worst
Yeah,
reason to ever, because then you're stuck in something that you might down the road don't want,
right,
that you can't get out of.
right.
So you
Yeah,
know,
that's true. That's true. And it happens, and
mhm.
people do it, and then there's so many different reasons. But I would think the main reason. I mean, okay, so full disclosure, my wife and I, we lived together before we uh before we got married, and
What? I didn't know that.
yeah, it was
Nah, shit.
it was a bit of an adjustment because I was used to living by myself. You had been over to my little apartment, my 900 square foot apartment over by the mall in Biloxi. I love my little apartment.
Yeah.
I was right around the corner from work, and I used to, get off work and go home and have me some vodka, and I would just sit up in my little apartment, by my one bedroom apartment by myself, but it was my little space.
Hmm.
But then, we were dating, and then we started, we came up with the idea of living together. I was a little nervous at first because I never lived with anybody, so it's an adjustment because she two different personalities, and then you have kids involved, and yeah, there were some growing pains. Uh, yeah, so and then we moved to Georgia, living together too, and it was just it was just kind of they were I'm not I can be honest. There were days when I was like, yeah, I miss living by myself.
I probably think that's with everyone.
Yeah,
They miss living. Well, maybe guys. Just depending
yeah.
how I would say depending on how out. I used this word the other day and they started laughing at me. I guess I made up. Depending on how much of an outrovert you are, they was like
Hmm.
outrovert. What the hell is an outrovert? I was like, introvert, outrovert.
Yeah,
I don't know shit. But they were like,
right.
what the hell? Like so, depending on how much of a outro, let me say extrovert is the correct term, but
Yeah, yeah,
but I say outrovert,
right.
outrovert you are. It just depends on how much of that person, I guess you are in that sense. I think that would affect you staying with someone or someone staying with you, and then you're like, man, I kind of miss, having my own, space,
Yeah,
which that's another thing I think, which is like a con to living. I'll call it semi-con. Is like uh, when you do live with someone, they're always there, you know,
right.
you know,
Yes,
no matter
yeah.
what, and if you came off of a time where you were always coming, you could come home and you have time to yourself, you can decompose or decompress
Hmm.
to yourself, not be bothered, and you like that type of feeling.
Right,
But then you have someone that's there, and all of a sudden you have to, they're there. So
right.
and like with me, I'm like, if somebody's there and then they're always talking, or they might say something, it's like I'm really
Exactly.
not trying to have, I'm trying to,
Yeah,
get in
and
my
it's
own little zone.
and you're not being moody like I'm like that. Like I'm very outgoing. I'm when I go out work a room, I talk to everybody.
Hmm.
There are times when you want to come home, and if you're quiet, it's not because you're upset about something or you're in a mood or something like that. I think a lot too. So I just like to sit on the couch, have me a drink, watch TV, especially if there's a sporting event on or something I'm really into. I'm not trying to have this whole conversation because I'm trying to watch
Yeah.
this thing I really want to watch, and so it has nothing to do, um, with oh no, he's in a mood or he's this and that. No, I'm just trying to watch, and do this and that. So yeah, yeah, man. It's I don't know. They always say, hey, you shouldn't live with somebody. I don't believe in shacking up. I get it. I say to
Yeah.
each their own. I think if you are truly invested and you're trying to plan a future with somebody, uh, I think you should, or at least
Should. But
stay
say if
over
you're
there
getting married
for,
with, I would say this,
you know,
not to cut you off, but say if you,
yeah.
but the goal was to get married. Like
Hmm.
Another thing I actually read that it gives it dulls the excitement, like two things. It dulls the excitement for the marriage, what makes you
Right,
makes you lazy within the relationship. So it's like saying, when you go to a job interview, you got on khakis, a nice shirt and tie,
right,
but then once you get the job, you come in some jeans and a maybe a t-shirt, or you get lazy because you already got what you wanted. Same thing when which in that relationship when you're shacking, you've gotten what you wanted, so there's no real push to get to the marriage step. It makes you lazy for the marriage step.
right.
So I think that pros and cons of it all. That's like that could be a con because and I see a lot of people do that. They turn out to be like, oh, they're gonna get married somewhere down the road, and they shack up or
Hmm.
live together, and they never get married because they've got so comfortable just
Right.
living together. And it's like, man, we already the bills in both of our names. We got bank accounts the same, which I probably would never
Yeah.
ever do, to be honest. But
Yeah.
share a bank account.
Yeah.
Um, car note in both of our names. We got a kid. What we need to get married for?
Hmm.
What's the marriage for? You know what I'm saying?
No.
So I think that's one of the like one of the cons of it all.
Hmm.
Now, to be honest, I didn't even heard you even say anything. You say you all for it, but I never heard you say anything about the pros of it. To be
I mean, to me the pros are just you getting you get you uh, uh, a true sense of what it is, or an accurate account of what it is to truly live with this person you're trying to spend your whole life with, or whatever the goal is. Because, like I said earlier, you truly don't know someone until you live with them.
So
And
is that a really pro, or is that
I
just
think
more
I think it's
more
a pro.
of a really
Yeah, because
to
then
get
you
into
can
know
make it,
some?
because you can make a decision now. It's like, oh well, I know this person now, so I would rather live with them before, but as opposed to, oh well, we're gonna date and whatever, we're together, we're gonna get married, and we're not gonna live together until we get married, and then you get married and you move in together, and then it's like, well, damn, I don't really like this person. I don't really like this person all that much. But if you live
Okay,
with them
okay.
before, then it's just like, okay, well, you know what? I've lived with this person. I don't really like you all that much. Okay, now maybe we should go our separate ways, or if you want to just date, or I can't I can't marry you, or we can't live together. So, but yeah, I'd rather know, instead of oh, we're gonna you know we're in love and we're gonna get married and we're gonna do all this, but we're not gonna live together first. We're gonna get married and then we're gonna live together, and then it's just like, oh
Well,
yeah,
that's that
I don't
blind
like this
faith
person.
love, or.
Yeah, no, damn
I
that,
mean, you say you don't like. I mean, you're
damn
supposed
that.
to like that person,
Mm-mm.
just from the dating part.
Yeah, no, damn that. I'm
It's not
more
gonna
of a
work for you.
realist. I'm a realist. Love,
So
love ain't
explain.
love isn't enough.
Well,
Love isn't enough.
I get it. Well, what I always say, man. You cannot numbers don't lie. So how
Yeah.
explain to me how that the '60s, '70s
Well,
stayed together, but our generation.
because now it's 2022,
Hmm.
and I think what works for you may not work for somebody else. I know me personally.
What?
I think we need to live together before we, because I need to know. I
Well, I
need to
need
know
you to explain to me
is what
how is it that the ones before would never stand together? They stayed married their whole
totally
lives.
different, because it's a totally different time era, whatever you want to call it. I just think it was just that time in history, totally different as opposed to now. I say live together before. do
Living,
it, do
living,
it,
living
do it,
sin, huh? Living
do it,
sin.
do it, because you got to know. You have to know, and that's not even a guarantee either. But still, at least you have some idea. You're not like blindsided, like, well, damn, this person is terrible to live with.
But they're divorcing though. So explain that though.
I've got nothing. All I can
They
tell
stand
you,
together and divorce it.
all I can tell you is you should, my personal opinion,
Yeah.
live with them first,
Okay.
or even stay over at the house for like, not necessarily even live with each other. Just stay at the house for
Couple of nights
I
a
don't
week,
know.
huh?
Yeah, yeah, even longer than that. Stay over there. I'm not opposed to you staying for like 2, 3 weeks at a time.
Oh
Just
no, nah, nah. If I'm gonna
no,
tell you, like, I do not. I'm not for that one. Like,
no, not that. That's
I'm
too long.
either. Oh yeah, I'm either you gonna stay there, like
Oh, you're not.
you gonna live there with me, or you gonna be there 3, 4 nights out of the week. Cause
Okay,
my whole my process or thought process is okay. If you're gonna do the 3, 4 nights a week, I
right,
can acclimate my mind and be like, oh, I get this free time that I so much enjoy without you
right,
being there. Now, if you're gonna come stay, let's say 3 weeks, then my mind, because I don't, I'm like, man, I can't get my time to myself. You know what I'm saying? Because you're there
right.
3, 4 weeks or whatever. So I'm like, you're gonna stay. If you're not, I don't need that, that part time staying. And I guess I
Right.
say part time when it's like 3 or 4 weeks, but
I got you.
3 or 4 days, out of the week, you probably even get 5.
Right.
Um, I'm I'm okay with that, but I
Okay.
still get my time. So,
Okay.
you know,
I got
it's
you. No,
crazy.
that
It's a
makes
crazy
sense.
process.
That makes sense. That makes sense. Well, so yeah, we'll hopefully we'll get some comments. We'll let our viewers chime in. But real quick before we go, I just want to ask you real quick. So we're older gentlemen, and I was just wondering if you had any life advice for younger men in their 20s and 30s. Because we live life, we're a little older, and just any advice you would want to pass on to like a younger gentleman, yeah, 20s, maybe 30s, just kind of finding his way or still trying to find his way.
I would basically say, don't go through life coulda, shoulda, woulda. If you dreamed it or thought about it as a in that stage where you are now,
Right.
don't let you stop you, because you'll go through life later down the road like saying, I wish I could have, or wish I
Hmm.
would have. When you had, the thing is, I'll say this: I am probably a victim of that. Way back in my day, there were things I was like, man, I want to do, but I was like, man, I don't know, do I'm not gonna do that. I don't got, you know.
Right.
And the thing was, I had the fire, which was all I, you had when you're young, you have fire, so you got a lot of
Yeah.
ambition, so you can push
Right.
out more, do more things. And I never did it because I let myself stop me. And then I
Hmm.
went through life like, man, I wish I would have did that. I did this. And now some of the things I said I wish I would have done, I'm doing it now. I'm like, man, it would have been so much easier if I would have done it when I was younger. With that ambition, I didn't need the credit or the money. I just need that ambition, which I
Right.
had, and of course the know-how comes along with it. So now I kind of kick myself today. I'm like, man, I could have been doing in a better position today if I just would not have let me stop me.
Right.
I was the only thing that stopped me. So I've just all, just don't. If you think about it and you like, man, I wish I want to do it, try it.
Yeah. Right.
I think it's better to fail at what you were trying to than to fail at never doing it.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
crazy thought process, but that's me.
No, 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 no. I get it. I would say, make your mental and physical health a priority. Uh, Surround yourself with people who truly have your best interests at heart, and then the people that mean a lot to you. I would say, tell them often. Again, too, it's okay to be vulnerable, and it's okay to get therapy if you need help. Um, and also, don't let other people's opinions define you. As a man, and like you said, go after it, get after it. Don't this would have, could have. I wish I would have done this. Uh, if go after it, I'd rather have failed and have tried, and then say, well, I was gonna try this or that, but I never got around to it.
Yeah.
Because life goes by like that. So, um, and I would just say just be comfortable in your own skin, and other people's opinions of you. They're none of your business. Just do whatever it is that you do, also there has to be some self accountability, and be humble, and just be thankful, and because you're not doing it alone, and remember to thank those people that helped you along the way. And yeah, that's what I would say, and just and try not to worry so much. Coming from a person who worries a lot, I'm a worry. Try
you
not
get
to worry
you get over
so
it.
much. Yeah, I'm trying. I'm trying. It's a process.
Mm.
But yeah, so yeah, that's all I've got. But this is gonna do it for our time. I do want to thank you all for again watching the podcast, supporting us. If please go on and like and subscribe, and if you got any questions or comments, please hit us up at two men with mics at gmail.com. If you want to come on the show and support or promote your business, you want to come on and talk sports or talk about this crazy thing we call relationships between men and women, hit us up. We'll have you on the show. So
True.
you got anything you want to add there, CJ, before we head on out?
Let the lovers love in February. I don't know. I just that was
Levels
that was
love, yeah. No,
let the
that's not
lovers
no.
love.
I was gonna take a page from you. I was gonna be like, who love is the answer. Who cares what the question is? We just trying to, Valentine's Day is next month. We're all
Yeah,
about
next
the,
one.
love.
Yeah.
So just get out there and just be loving, and all this bickering and all this, relationship men and women. One day, hopefully, we'll get it right. So
Yeah.
that's all I've got. Yeah,
Well,
yeah,
true.
yeah. So, but yeah, definitely just check us out. And like I said, we love more subscribers. Let us know what you think. And you guys have an awesome week. Rest of your week and enjoy your weekend. Enjoy some playoff football. And we'll see what happens. Like I said, still Rams, Chiefs playoffs.
Boo.
I'm sorry, Super Bowl. Rams, Chiefs,
Yeah.
Super Bowl.
Yeah. There you go. There you go.
Yeah, there you go.
At the playoffs.
Yeah.
All right, people. Be easy.
That's right. Peace.